My name is TJ Gamble and this is Brewzle. But what does it actually take to get one of these in the state of Alabama?
So all told, we spent about $400, but this is what we got.
That's a good whiskey. There's a lot going on there. All right, we are live despite all these crazy technical difficulties we were having here right
Y'all
before
should
we
have
tried
seen the behind the scenes.
We were scrambling for the last 5 minutes, but I think we're live. But we do have a new audio setup for this live stream. So please let me know, are we too loud? Are we not loud enough? We tried to match them. I don't have individual volume controls, so I'm probably just gonna be a lot louder than Jill. Probably how that's gonna go. But y'all let me know, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is all going well? It looks like you can see me over there, but I can't check the audio. Sounding good, awesome, that's great. We went these wireless labs so we don't have all this microphone in the way, blocking all the bar top we had for bottles here. Whew, let's see who we got. Aaron Hooper in the chat. Love the Stagg Jr. Awesome, that's a good one. A lot of good feedback on the sound there from Ryan. The Ryans, multiple Ryans. Chris in the chat. Lots of folks in here early, so awesome. I appreciate all of y'all joining us this Monday. This is actually our 1 year anniversary stream. Not our 1 year anniversary stream, but our 1 year anniversary stream.
Is this the 1 year?
We started this channel, started posting regularly. I reserved the name in January, and we had dropped like a couple of TikToks, but we started like the 5th of July posting regularly. We posted a few TikToks, and then we started creating new content last July. So we are here at the 1 year mark. Technically a couple of days from now is the 1 year mark. And we are about to cross over by the end of this week. Hopefully, by the end of this week, we might be over 400,000 on this channel. We did cross this week, or last week, 1 million followers across all platforms, which is just crazy. So it's been a good year, to say the least.
Very good year.
Appreciate all of y'all hanging out. Tonight, what we're gonna do is, we ask patrons, we have y'all vote on these, so if any of these are crazy, it's not our fault. We didn't pick the list. We're just gonna rank the list.
I mean, I don't know if there is one, but I was like, where's my Knob Creek?
I mean, Knob Creek is less than $100, but these are what the patrons voted on as the best bottles under $100.
Okay.
And it's, as a surprise, you've got a very small distillery here in Frey Ranch against a whole lot of
Frey
Buffalo
Ranch is in there?
Yeah, Buffalo Trace. You've got Frey Ranch, and then you've got a whole lot of Buffalo Trace, and then you've got an OFO.
If I don't pick
Old
Frey
Forester.
Ranch, I'm going to be so disappointed.
I think it would be
I'm going to be shocked.
that would be a surprising upset if you picked them first in this blind.
If I pick them first?
If they are first in this blind, I think that would raise a lot of eyebrows.
No, but they're my favorite.
We would lose all of our credibility.
I don't have any credibility.
That's the little bit of credit.
So-
the 7 cents worth of credibility we've built up would
Okay.
all be gone.
Are they the highest proof?
In this lot,
See, y'all
I'm not
know
sure.
that.
They're definitely higher than this.
Right.
That Stagg is 131. So this one's
This
100.
is 128.
This is 136. So yes,
Exactly.
they are the
Thank
highest proof
you.
out of this bunch.
Yeah, so if y'all are not going to be surprised if that's what I pick. This is 131. Y'all are not going to be surprised. I'm not going to lose any credibility because the only credibility I have is that I am proof queen, and so that would.
That raises your credibility.
There you go.
I've got to get those Glens ordered. We got the designs done. I'm going to order those. Probably not tomorrow. Everybody will be closed.
Probably not
but
tomorrow.
Blessed Assassin picked up a bottle of Frey Ranch Single Barrel Strength Total Wine Store pick. So good, had to go back for a second one.
Wow.
Absolutely. Devin with the $20 super chat and the birthday celebrations. Appreciate it. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Devin.
Jill's going to love the Stagg. And so this, for y'all that don't know, this Stagg is the Stagg Don't Call Me Junior batch right here. This is the first
Stagg
one.
Don't Call Me
Well, it used to be Stagg Junior,
Yeah.
and this is the first batch that they didn't put the Junior on it. I don't know what batch that is, but that's what that supposedly is. So, yeah, can't find. I think these are going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage in this proof. What is it?
How much is Stagg? Because
This
someone
one?
said last I saw was $3.99.
Yeah, it's kind of pricey. Now, that's
How is it in-
secondary.
oh,
That's secondary.
secondary. Okay.
So, like, this one's over $100 in secondary. This one I see over $100, at least 100-ish plus. This one, you know, so I didn't make the list. MSRP, That is below $100.
So
But
just like if you found it on the shelf.
yes, but nobody ever does. So
Oh,
how do you make it fair? It's hard. It's hard to make it fair, so we just don't try. That's what we try to do. We're just having a good time. This is not for science. Nobody's life's on the line.
No.
So it is very much scientific, though. So we've had these blinded here. Do you want a little palate warmer upper? Is that what we want to do? We want to warm them because I haven't had any alcohol today. What have I got over here? Oh, I've got some samples. We're going to try in a little bit. Look at this.
My trusty water.
What about this MB Roland Uncut Unfiltered Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey? Pot distilled. So we got a little theory going that I don't like pot distilled whiskey, and maybe that's my problem with a lot of the Irish whiskeys and things. So I don't know. That may spell bad news for MB Roland here, but let's get it warmed up with that.
I just got a little scared.
What is it?
Because I'm chewing ice.
And
usually with that microphone.
Oh, they gonna hear you. They hear you chewing ice.
Y'all hear me chewing ice?
They absolutely hear you with
I'm
that
so
one chewing
sorry.
the ice for sure. Yes.
Sorry if you hear me chewing ice.
What is the proof on the Uncut Unfiltered? This is 108.8 proof MB Roland. Let's slide these guys out of the way. You take a couple of them that way. I'll take a couple of them this way. Let's give MB Roland the stage here. Warm our palates up. See what everybody's up to. Grab us a couple of fresh Glens. You grab the Fs if you want. Be serious. We're always serious. I'm always serious. If you're ever asking yourself, is this guy serious? I'm always serious until I'm not. Or is it I'm always not serious till I am? I'm not sure. One of those two, though.
Just don't crunch it. It's hard not to crunch ice, though.
Now, this has got a little proof, 108, which is actually kind of low for an Uncut Unfiltered. 22B and 18 last week for MSRP. Well, there you go. Somebody is. I'm not usually. I don't usually pay secondary, but I don't find them that often. Okay, that one, that definitely smells like it's got a little oak tannin, little too much oak tannins in it. Still and barrel proof. Still and barrel proof? It's still proof and barrel proof? I don't know what still proof is.
It smells a little weird.
Definitely a little more of those kind of raisin, like sometimes when oak tannins come through, but they come through sweet, they're not bitter. It comes across kind of as a raisin. So if you like raisin flavor in your whiskey, do you taste raisin? You get that? It's kind of a burnt caramel, soft burnt caramel raisin. Not what I'm looking for. Typically, I like the raisin flavor. I like a lot better than the bitter oak tannins, but still not what I'm looking for. Not your jam? Do you feel like your palate's just ruined now instead of warmed up?
No.
Much like a true professional, I've got a Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar palate cleanser here. Yeah. Michael Skeen, member for 1 month. Appreciate it, Michael. Got you into the hunt. Well, I would like to apologize for ruining your savings account. Was not my intention with all of this, but we do what we can. Oh, Father's Day got a Stagg Junior for MSRP. Stagg, don't call me Junior for MSRP. Oh, she didn't get it.
The review said it wasn't good.
That's painful. That's painful. Because it is really good. Like that one particularly is a lot better than the other bottle I have open right now. To me, I say that. It was better than the last bottle. That may be a different, I think that's a different one. We finished the other bottle. I don't know what batch that is.
I agree with Josh. We need a Dr. Pepper sponsorship.
We did. Dr. Pepper needs to
where
step
are you
up.
at, Dr.
What are you
Pepper?
doing? Like, Lord, have mercy.
I just bought 4 12-packs of Dr. Pepper Zero today. I mean, come on.
We don't just need.
Literally keep y'all in business.
We don't just need a Dr. Pepper sponsor because we talk about it all the time. We need a Dr. Pepper sponsor so I can afford to continue drinking it. That stuff's getting ridiculous.
It's really expensive.
Slide that sucker on out of the way there. I'm gonna have to pass them. Like, if you like the raisin flavor, and if y'all have had a whiskey where you like that tastes like raisins, let me know in the chat. Have you had it? Did you like the raisin flavor?
I just don't. I mean, I'm not a raisin fan. I'm just not a fan of raisins.
Not in your whiskey or in general.
In anything.
You don't eat like.
I don't like raisins.
Okay. So like raisin
So
bran.
that
That's your
wasn't.
thing.
No. Ugh.
Raisin bran.
I don't like raisin bran.
Raisin bran pretty good.
I don't like
solid.
anything with raisins.
If I want to
And
feel
that
like an old
wasn't-
lady, that's
it wasn't
what I eat.
bad, but it just wasn't.
Yeah. I
Well,
just
you
watched
gotta
the
eat
Golden Girls and Wheel of Fortune eat some Raisin Bran.
Yeah, I think
go.
Dr. Pepper should be part of the Brewzle budget.
It's got to be. It's got to be. All righty. What have we got? We got 5 Glens here. We have no idea what whiskey's in which one of these, and they are not in order. So, I don't know. Our kids don't know the alphabet here.
I'll leave that baby alone. You
She's
rushed
doing
her.
wonderfully. She did not have a lot of time. You were right. I waited till the last minute. That's why we were scrambling right before we went live here. Got to keep regular. That's what I'm saying. Vanilla Coke. Nothing wrong. I don't know. Vanilla Coke's not bad. It's not great. It's not great. It's not. I'm,
2 scoops. Nate
two
said 2
scoops.
scoops. Can't
All
have
right.
just one.
Let's go with A. You want to pour what you want, and I'll just take the rest.
Yes.
Let's do that. Don't like raisins either. We used to eat them. Like my grandmother would get the little boxes, the little red California raisins.
I can't do that.
And she would just have those around. And, of course, you grew up in the country. You didn't have there were not a lot of treats. And
Yeah.
so we would just go crack open a little box of those raisins. All right, so that's A. We're going to go ahead and pour all of them before we start drinking them just to...
Okay.
Oatmeal raisin cookies. No?
See, I don't like any cookies or. There is one cookie that I've eaten that had raisins, but it had cranberries also. So I think the cranberries outweighed the raisins.
They offset the raisins?
Yeah.
Oh, what are we talking about? How did we get on raisins?
Because we drank
Whiskey
raisin
raisins.
whiskey.
Whiskey raisins. Been married 25 years. I'm learning something about Jill tonight. I noticed
You
we don't
didn't
have
know?
we didn't
I
have a
didn't
lot of
like-
raisins, but I didn't know you just despised them.
I don't like raisins.
Haven't had the Frey Ranch. Y'all let me know.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I'm going
You
to
gotta
roll
have
through
that.
this. This is a Frey Ranch store pick from Liquor Lineup, but it's a cask strength Frey Ranch.
We got another Frey Ranch
EH
today.
had we did get another one thanks to War Eagle 1. I don't know if
Thank
he
you
made the
so
champ,
much.
but we got Weller Antique 107. Grab those for me. We have Stagg, Don't Call Me Junior. And then the Old Forester single barrel strength. This is a store pick from Somerville Super Saver. Don't know where that is or where I got it, but that's where it's from. So y'all let me know in the chat, predict what the order is going to be. How do y'all think these are going to go? How would you rank them? At least the ones you've had. Feel free to leave out the ones you haven't. Or just guess. Like, that's fun sometimes too. That's what I do, and I'm right a lot of times, and then it's a lot of fun.
You're right
You look
a
like
lot.
you look like you know what you're doing if you guess and
You're
you're
right a lot of the times.
It's all luck. You think Antique 107's best? The problem you have,
Bob says Frey.
it's one of those weird things. The problem you have is that sometimes the anomaly here doesn't stand out, right? Or it stands out in a bad way. So the 100 proof, 107 proof, once you start hitting these with really high proofs, the proof becomes a part of the experience and you tend to skew more toward those. I think that's happened to us several times in these blinds, is the proof was just part of it. And even though we might have liked the flavors on the other one, it just didn't have the proof. And after sampling through so many high proof things, the ones that didn't have it just seemed simple by comparison because your taste buds kind of acclimate to the proof. So I think that's going to be a disadvantage for these two. I also think I'll be able to pick out the Weller Antique 107. And then what does my brain do? Is that like, do I rank it ahead? Do I I don't know. It's going to be weird for me. It's going to be very weird.
Dave says we need to come to Buffalo, New York in September. Bills game, tailgating, and bourbon and wings.
I agree. That sounds like a great time. Let's actually do that. The vacation was fantastic, Chris. Had a good time. Chilled out on the beach for a little while. Worked on the tan and
Worked
the
on the
Brewzle
tan.
app. So
I covered it up, but
You covered up the tan?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my pictures. I was looking at the photos we took, and I was like, man, I'm like 7 shades darker than everybody else there. Got a little ethnicity while I was down there. Old Forester, much better. Rooting for the non-Buffalo. Me too, honestly, me too. I'm rooting for this Frey Ranch. Like, if I had to pick what I want to win, I want this to win just because it's a small distillery, and that would be, I mean, it's not some big accomplishment. They don't get a trophy or anything, but like, to me, that would really say something.
Kelly's asking where's Frey Ranch from. They're in Nevada, right?
Fallon, Nevada.
Fallon,
Small,
Nevada.
the small limited distribution. Although I'm starting to see them in more states like Georgia.
I love Frey Ranch.
They are really. I mean, I keep hitting them up trying to get a barrel.
One of my favorites.
I've done everything I could to try to get a barrel pick, and I can't break through. I think it's one of those. It's like a lot of these bigger ones. You got to get introduced by somebody. Apparently,
Maybe one day
they're
we'll
just
get
getting
introduced to
bombarded.
them.
So yeah. All right, so let's start with A here. Got another super chat. Timothy with the $20 super chat. Appreciate the support, Timothy. Happy anniversary. I turned 21 and scored a 107. My older brother got into bourbon. Very unfortunate for the wallet. That is
Yeah.
absolutely true right there, Timothy. So it's, it's fun. It's a good, it's a fairly healthy hobby if you don't go too crazy with it. But I mean, it's better than some other hobbies. But it is expensive. What do you think? You're just sniffing them?
Yeah. And that's what we
I mean, we can do anything we want to do.
Ooh.
It will be a sad day if I can't pick 107 out of this. But
That's
like,
interesting.
once you've gone through the proof and your palate starts to acclimate, oh, I know that one. I know that one.
Don't skew my,
Okay.
because I know what you, I think I know what you would be thinking if you said I know that one.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong.
You're probably wrong, Jill.
Probably wrong. I know one smell-wise stands out to me.
Which one?
C.
What do you think that is?
I don't know, but it smells delicious. Like,
It does have the best aroma. And that is the one I think I know what it is. Like, it is just very
oh
caramel.
my gosh.
It is just a caramel bomb.
bomb. It is.
So, like, sweet.
But then there's something else.
Candy caramel.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch, yeah, very butterscotch.
look
Yes,
at us.
you nailed that one. Yeah,
Butterscotch.
very butterscotch for sure. Butterscotch is a caramel.
Man, I'm telling
right?
y'all, I have came a long way in a year.
You were just killing it. This is gonna be the Brewzle Jill channel. We should start a Brewzle Jill channel where you just review things and or maybe we just put out reviews and I'll just quit. I'll retire. I'll be a house husband.
A house husband?
Yep. For sure.
Gosh, that one just smells so good.
What do you think it is?
I know what I think it is.
What do you think it is? Then say it.
I think it's Frey Ranch.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not looking at you, but I think it's Frey Ranch. And don't look at me, because you're going to skew my thought process. So now we'll taste them. I probably should give the other one some sort of attention, though, because
You think so?
Frey Ranch is not that I know. I mean, I'm thinking it's Frey Ranch because it smells delicious.
Michael with the $20 super chat. Appreciate the support, Michael. Check out E and rate it.
E also smells pretty good. All right, so now we
Okay.
can taste. I mean, you can taste whenever you want to, but
We're going with A now? We're starting? Okay. I've been drinking away. What do you think? I have some of that water over there, please. Thank
I
you.
brought you your very own.
You brought me my very own lukewarm water.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't tote everything down.
Yeah,
Upstairs.
tunes that are playing in the background should be just some music we loop through in case we're quiet for a second.
That's good.
We just loop the same tunes. We tried actually playing music, but we just keep getting copyright striked. There's like some streaming services for that, but even though we were using a paid streaming service we have access to, we still got copyright strike. So you say, how can I get these under 10? It's not easy. It's not easy, but
100.
under 100. What did I say? Under 10. Yeah,
You
under
get 'em
100.
under 10.
If you can get under 10, buy them.
Yeah.
But under 100, I've paid under $100 for every one of these. So it's possible, but I didn't make the list. So if you just got here, I didn't make the list. We asked the patrons what was the best bottle under 100. This is what they came up with. This is what we're blinded. So if they want to change the rules and say you can't get that under 100, that's fine. But these are what they suggested, and then they ranked them. What do you think? A or B so far?
A.
Okay.
But only by a little bit.
I don't know. B's coming across kind of flat to me.
B is just a little.
Like it's just.
There's something going on with B that I'm not so sure about.
It tastes oxidized. To me, it's just coming across like sharp. Greg with the $5 super chat. Appreciate the support there, Greg. David with the $4.99 headed to Reno, Nevada in August. Gonna have to hit up the Frey Ranch Distillery.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely. Do that. Tell him Brewzle sent you.
Yeah.
And he wants a store pick.
We need to go there too, though. Like when you go to Vegas again.
It's a little ways away from Vegas. He's going to Reno.
Okay, how far is it from Vegas?
It's a minute.
Oh. Well.
This is E.H. Taylor small batch. So I'm gonna put A above B. Ooh, that's the caramel bomb. The butterscotch bomb.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna put A above B.
What do you think about C though?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Okay, I'm ahead of you. Made your husband a bourbon flight tray for his birthday. That's awesome. Did he like it? Has he used it? What does it look like? Tell me about it. More than 2 minutes away? Exactly, Salty.
More than 2 minutes.
Tyler with the $4.99 super chat. When did you start collecting the bottles? Have you always drank it neat, or did you start with a traditional Jack? I didn't start drinking until I was in my 30s, and then it was all Jack and Coke for 10 years, and then probably about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, started acquiring some whiskey. Found this one very early in my bourbon journey when these things were a little easier to come by. And it just kind of went crazy from there. Really have been buying and collecting over the last 2 or 3 years, or 3 or 4 years, with probably over half these bottles have been bought since we started the YouTube channel though. That's way ahead, like that's number one with a bullet. Is that just because you think it's the Frey Ranch?
It's just between these three so far, that one's
Okay.
my clear choice.
On the palate, it's a lot different than on the nose.
Yeah.
I'm picking up a little nuttiness on it.
Yeah, I did too, but it's still really good.
It's still got some
It's
of that
high
kind of
proof.
caramel butterscotch note, but then it's a sharp nuttiness.
Definitely has
But it's-
proof.
Like, do you want just proof? Should I just go get some 190 proof?
No, I don't like all that.
I got some of those Cat's Eye Distillery
No,
20-something euro Canadian whiskeys.
no. D smells good now. I wonder, like, the longer you let them sit there, do they open up more? Do they smell better? Do they change?
They will soften up a little bit. Some of that alcohol will evaporate off of them. I would think that would make them a little more approachable.
Frank said that Fallon to Vegas is a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, I see. That's a minute.
That's a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be doing that one. We'll just have to make a trip to Fallon. Because I would love to go to Frey Ranch.
What do you think about D? My favorite bourbon of all time is William LaRue Weller 2020, the one I've got. Now, I haven't had very many William LaRues, but that's number one for me. My regular sipper here is in this blind, and I don't think it's going to win. But this is the proof I prefer. Now, I may not rank it higher than something with higher proof, but this is what I'm going to when I'm just drinking. Lots of desert and bunny ranches. They raise a lot of rabbits out there.
D is good. There's something about D. That
Something about D?
It's not as high proof, but
I concur.
the flavors are good.
It is a delicious whiskey. That is a delicious Buffalo Trace whiskey. What?
You are messing with my head.
Okay, no head messing at this point.
Gosh, because now
just
I know. Now I think I know what it is.
What do you think it is?
107.
I mean, you know 3 of those are Buffalo Trace up there, right?
No.
Yeah.
I just know.
Yeah. E.H. Taylor, Stagg, and 107 are Buffalo Trace whiskeys. So. Oh, I like Baker 7 a lot. I've got the old bottles. I need to get the new bottle. I haven't even tried that one because I bought so many of those old Dusties when they changed it. The very first bourbon I ever had, it had to be Jim Beam. Had to be.
That is delicious. That's delicious. Wow.
That one is good. That one is good. Oh, that one's got a lot of balance to it, right? A A lot of balance. Michael with the super chat. Up to 26 bottles of bourbon, Dothan, Alabama. Thank you. Are you thanking me for the 26 bottles? Because sorry about that. We need like the old. Have you seen? We were talking about it in Discord the other day. Have you seen the? I'm sure you have the crafting cabinets that you open up and it's got all the stuff.
Yeah.
We need like the ultimate bourbon cabinet that is just designed for bottles to get, so you can get like 100 bottles in a small space because nobody has room for any of these bottles. We're just lucky enough to bought an old house with a lot of space so we could build the bar. The Old Forester is 128.1 proof. And honestly, I don't know these. I don't have a good peg on which one's which here. I have my thoughts. And I'm going to try to dial them back in a little bit, but my palate's not good and warmed up yet. So I'm not 100. I know I can divide them into groups. I think I could pick out the Buffalo Trace ones.
I don't think I could.
But nailing down which one's which right now?
All I can do is tell you which one I like.
So right now, C's the winner. Number one with a bullet. I mean, you got it way out there. This is how Jill does it. I'll just rearrange mine. Right, let's pull these in so you can actually see.
There's a lot going on with CNE that I am a fan of.
Okay. I agree with that.
There's a lot going on with both those.
Is it the proof? Like you're just every time we do this,
I don't know, D's
we're
good too.
skewing toward high proof.
D is good too, and it does not have high proof.
But there are 3 really high proof ones on here.
Oh really?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
I
don't get it in.
There are 3 128 plus proof whiskeys in this lineup. Yeah.
Okay, maybe A.
So get your palate acclimated, and we'll go back through them and do our final ranking here.
Yeah, A has some proof on it too.
I commandeered my 3rd kitchen cabinet. Who needs like pots and pans?
Cabinets.
Nobody's cooking anyway.
Who needs glasses?
High proof does equal high flavor. I mean, that's.
Thank you. Yes.
Once you get used to the proof, once you're accustomed to the proof, and it just doesn't burn your senses, you do get more flavor. That doesn't necessarily mean the flavors are better, though.
Not all the time. No.
Not all the time.
Because D has good flavors. It's not very high in the proof.
You don't think it's got the proof?
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think A might be the 3rd one that has a higher proof. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. A is good.
They're all good. There's no bad whiskey here. I keep saying that in these just to let folks know. Just because it came in last doesn't mean it's bad.
Right. It could just be like a tiny little bit.
I keep going to the Dr. Pepper when I want the water.
In these, like it could just be. I like this one just a tad better. So you're going back? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get most of these right. I will miss most of these.
I'm not getting any of them right, but I am gonna tell you which one I like.
I think 3 out of 5 is the worst I've done on these, and I don't think I'm not sure I'll get 3 out of 5.
These are tough.
I haven't drank a lot of these. Like I don't drink a lot of that Old Forester barrel strength. I like it. I've got some. I just don't go back to it. Jill has drank the majority of this that did not get shared with other people. So I've took this bottle with me, and a lot of it got drank on that trip. I'm not saying she drank most of the bottle. I'm just saying most of it that's been drank here, she drank it. So I really haven't had a ton of this. That Stag, again, I barely have. I've had 1 pour out of that right after I got it. So the 107 and the E.H. Taylor are the only ones that I consume a lot. So I don't think I'm making a lot of excuses. I know, James. And sometimes I do it. Sometimes I pull it out. Sometimes I clutch it out.
Man,
Appreciate it, Kevin. Which one are you back on? I'm still on E. I'm still trying to figure out E here. I'm trying to figure out what I think E is.
Loving the content from Canton, Georgia. I know somebody.
Can I sniff the bottles? Is that fair or not? Y'all let me know. Can I sniff the bottles? Not the glass. Can I actually open the bottle and sniff them?
No.
I agree. Eagle Rare needs to be 101 proof. No, only the outside. Okay, so I can do this. Like a bloodhound. That does me no good. Oh, the Calumet, the older Calumet stuff's good. Yeah, for sure.
Man, that's good. All right. Moving to D now.
Okay, I've locked in my guess.
Oh. I'm glad I don't have to guess.
I'm between two. I haven't locked it in. I'm between two there.
I will say.
You did good the other day, the last one,
I
right?
also have a guess between C and E. And they're interchangeable. I'm not real sure. But you know what? The only one I'm going to try to guess is I'm actually going to try to guess which one's the
Frey Ranch.
Frey Ranch. And it's between two.
Oh, yeah, I know the two. The two you just mentioned.
Yes, it's between those two.
Just trying to be all sly about it. I'm going to these two. I'm going to try to guess one, Frey Ranch. It's between two. I'm not going to tell you which two, but it's the two you just said.
Mm-hmm.
See, after drinking all this high-proof stuff, that one's just plain.
Yes.
It's plain. And I don't know if it's the E.H. Taylor or the 107. It's one of those. It has that Buffalo Trace sweetness.
107 is what I was thinking.
There's usually a particular flavor I'm looking for to determine if something is 107. A little bit of like a floral note on the palate, but with all this high-proof stuff, I'm not picking that up. I'm just getting the Buffalo Trace sweetness. And so I'm not 100% sure. I would say that's a good guess, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm leaning with you there. That's a strong candidate for the 107.
I'm sorry. Hands down, C wins the smell test. Like hands down.
Oh yeah, on the nose, it's just like
it
is just candy.
So good.
The standard 90 proof Frey Ranch is really good as well. Really is. It's good stuff. What are you thinking?
It's just the best.
It's the best
it
one?
It does have a little bit of nuttiness on the end.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like a candy bomb. It tastes so candy caramelly when you taste, but it does have a little bit of a
It's been so long since
nutty.
I've had the Frey. I don't recall if it has that nutty flavor.
I can't recall if
like
it has
a
the
lot
nutty.
of Brown-Forman products, like Jack Daniels, has that kind of nutty characteristic, but I don't recall any Old Forester I've had having it.
Oh, really?
I don't recall, but it could be.
Because I'm thinking
because
it's Old
it
Forester.
can. It very well could be. And you've drank more of this right here than I have.
Man, I'm confused now.
5 is a lot to blind, Uncle Nate. It is. So we might need to pare this down to 4.
Four,
but,
yeah.
you know, it's all right.
5 is
5,
hard.
5 when they're all 100 plus proof.
That's why Jill's pours are very tiny.
That's why TJ's pours are not.
And you won't see me drink all of these.
Yeah, but I've got a ton of brown sugar caramel on this. Butterscotch, really.
And now the bee smells really sweet now.
The bee smells really sweet.
Yeah, bee.
Smells like honey.
No.
It's a bee. Nevada's not a control. Nevada? Sorry about that. To any Nevadians, I don't know what they call themselves, but they get offended if you mispronounce their state name.
That is weird now. On the back end of that's really good.
Yes.
What is that? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know what that one is.
That one just threw me for a loop.
I know what that one is, yeah.
I just got thrown a loop on that one.
You got what kind of loop? What are you thinking?
loop-de-loop.
What's going on with the loop-de-loop?
It's, I'm not sure. Not sure what that is.
But I mean, is it better? So I haven't really been ranking these.
It's not better, it's different.
That's
These are hard.
I know what that is just on the nose now.
Hey, John David. He says Weller 107 is the best. TJ would agree.
I agree, although
may not pick
it's
it.
not going to win this blind. I'm just telling you.
He may
It is
not
not going
pick
to win
it.
this blind. And that
he would agree
but it
with
goes back to like, what are you judging, right? I'm not going to sit down and just have 130 proof whiskey for fun most of the time. I share it with people as an experience, but when I'm just sitting down for a sip, that 100 to 107 proof is what I'm looking for. But in a blind like this, I'm going for the experience, and so the high proof stuff tends to win. Although I would take that 107 over any of these other bottles 10 times out of 10 if I'm just sitting down and having a pour. Although, you know, that Stagg Jr. is pretty freaking good too. All these are pretty freaking good. Which one are you on now, eh?
I don't like the going back through. It changes everything. Because what I thought going this way is completely different than, not completely, but it's a little different going back.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Now we've got to put some sort of order to this, Jill. It's chaotic.
It's getting out of hand.
We got to entertain the people here.
Sorry, I got lost in my taste buds.
But I didn't order them when I was going back through, so now I got to do it again.
I know
This live
the
stream's
two
gonna get
that
out of
are
hand.
the ones that are going to be competing for number one. Those two are the ones. And these three are all very close. I will just go ahead and say that. These, however I rank them, is just because they are very, just like a tad bit, I like one better than the other. These two are very hard. I don't know which one to choose. On smell, I would just say C. C just smells the best. Oh, so good. If you like butterscotch and caramel, then C is your pick. Which I do like butterscotch and I do like caramel.
Big fan of those.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that just smells like a Werther's original.
I think we're going to have some difference of opinions here. So far, in every single one of these blinds, my number one has been Jill's number two, and vice versa, every single time. And I feel like we're gonna differentiate a little bit here. My palate is just scorched now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm useless at this point. I'm splitting hairs. All of these are really good. This one's coming across a little plain, and I'm being very risky with that because I think that's E.H. Taylor, but it could be 107. But it's just, and it could, like, this is not an old bottle. We've just been drinking a lot of it. It just comes across a little muted, and I'm hoping that's just because it's the lowest proof out of these to me. And again, I'm guessing what that is. Could be the 107 because it's definitely Buffalo Trace, so it's definitely 107 or E.H. Taylor. Absolutely one of those two. I'm going with the fact that I think A is the 107. But not certain about that. That one is really interesting though. What are you thinking?
C and E are both really, really good.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time, and then I gotta quit.
Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper. Doug Jones, he said it. Ethan with the super chat. Appreciate the support there, Ethan. Full Proof was my dream bottle and overpaid for it. Got a 107 for 60 and liked it twice as much. David gets a sitting applause.
A sitting applause?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stand. BK, you scored big, okay. Weller 12. Weller 12 did really good. We've got a video coming out where we blinded all the Wellers, and the Weller 12 was the big surprise on that one. I have not had pack 9. I've got 6, 7, 8, I believe. Haven't had 9 yet.
Okay.
Okay, so
I've
put them
got
in some,
no
like, you know, you could just arrange them. You ain't got to like slide them forward and back.
Sorry. Hey, you let me arrange mine.
This is not matrix scoring. This is
Yes,
straight
it is.
line scoring.
No, it isn't. It's gonna be a straight line up there.
Okay, hey, as long as they're in a straight line, you can put that line anywhere you want for it. There's no accounting for taste. Drinking some Stagg with us.
It's like tic-tac-toe.
I don't think the Stagg did particularly well in this lineup. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the Stagg did particularly well in this lineup. If the one I'm thinking is Stagg, I don't think it did great. I think it is lower half, but we'll see. We will see. I'm gonna try to guess them as we go through. Ron, 4-month membership. Appreciate it. Gonna up my support to $10. I'm a $5 here on YouTube. So yes, Ron, it doesn't benefit, I mean, it benefits me a little more, but honestly, it benefits you a lot more to cancel the YouTube or be the minimum on YouTube and go over to Patreon, because we're going to be dropping barrel picks and all sorts of stuff. And when we drop the barrel picks, we're going to drop it based off your tier. It's going to be first come, first serve, but you know, Patreon takes a lower portion of the membership than YouTube does, but also YouTube just doesn't notify you of our posts. So we'll post on your tier here on YouTube, but you're liable to not get the notification until it's too late, because sometimes they notify you a day later, whereas Patreon sends it right away. So it's just better for you over there as well. Like, that's what we want, what's best for you, and it's much easier for us to communicate with you on Patreon than it is on YouTube. Grabbed a Knob Creek 12, was a little disappointed. The Knob Creek 12 actually didn't do as well in our blind. The Knob Creek 9 was the one that Jill really, really loved. I think in a future live stream, we've got 9, 12, 15, and 18, and a store pick. We might do that blind on a stream here coming up pretty soon, because the 9 is freaking awesome. Where we at, Jill?
I have my first 3.
And you're just trying to determine the bottom of the barrel here? I think we're the same on BD.
And by bottom of the barrel, it's just very minute.
Oh, they're all good. They're all good. Like, do I change that order? Because that one does stand, that one's just really distinct and unique and interesting. Although I think I know what that is. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna shift it down. I'm shifting it around. 9 single barrel is where it's at. I don't think I've had a 9 single barrel. It's not a single barrel, the 9 we have. Nah, doesn't look like it's a single barrel. But we've got the 9, and then we've got the 120 proof, 100 proof and 120. So I like 9, but 12 is, I like the 12, don't get me wrong, but the 9 did a lot better in, now the 9 wasn't up against the 12, but in our blinds of like under 50 bucks, the 9 did really well, and then the 12, Jill just didn't seem to like as much. The suspense is killing me too, TP, but she's got to get it right. You got to give her time. Women take a little longer, but then they're normally right.
I've trained him well. Oh, I see you shaking your head there.
Trying to get some brownie points.
He knows
Dang
I'm
it.
right. All the time.
So you're done?
No, hold on.
Okay. By far a great bottle. I like Elmer T. Lee is a good bottle of whiskey. It's a little low on the proof side for, like, if you're buying it secondary, not worth that. Like, it's probably the worst secondary buy to me, because it is not exceptional in that way. If you got it at MSRP, that's a good bottle of whiskey for sure.
All right, done.
Okay, so
I'm done.
we're pretty close. We're pretty close.
Oh, what do you got?
I've got CAEBD, and you got CEABD. So we varied here instead of the. So let's look at
Wait a minute. You
D.
got to say what they are.
Oh, I gotta get. Well, I'm gonna guess as I go through.
Okay,
I'm gonna guess as I go through.
Two, okay.
Okay.
Let me just guess. Two.
Well, let D. I'm gonna go D. Do you want to guess D?
I have no clue what D
Okay.
is. I have no clue.
D is E.H. Taylor.
Ah. Okay.
Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Look at you.
1 for 1
One
right
for
there.
one.
That makes me feel a lot better because A is 107 then. So I'm 2.
Oh,
I'm
is it?
I think so. So B.
B.
I think B is Stagg.
Ah.
I think B is Stagg. And that's good. Like, I want to put it higher, but it's just in this lineup, these have so much more interesting things going on than that. That has a lot of really good flavors going on, but I would say that's Stagg.
Oh!
Really?
What? What?
It felt like it had so much more proof to me.
No.
That's Antique 107.
Oh my goodness.
I told y'all I was going to screw this up. That means that one's the Stagg. It felt like it had so much more proof. I'm so disappointed. I'm going home. I'm just packing my bags and I'm going to the house. What do I know?
You are at the house.
What do I know?
You're at the house. Wow. Look at there.
E, I think.
Okay, E, I think, is Old Forester.
I agree. That would be my guess for that one. Old Forester.
Look at me! I'm so excited.
Some two, I don't know what I'm talking about.
What was A? Oh, we ain't got A yet.
What is A? You want A?
A is my third. I don't really know what it is, but it's pretty good.
A's the Stag. And like right now, just tasting them after that, it tastes like it has more proof. But that's why I thought it was the 107. I don't know. It just didn't taste like it had that much more proof than this guy here. But yeah, it is the Stag. It is the Stag. But at least I was right on my Buffalo Traces. I just had the 107 and the Stag backwards, but that's still a rookie mistake.
That means C is...
C is definitely that Frey Ranch store pick right there.
Look
which is,
at that.
It is just caramel butterscotch.
Jill got that. Jill got 2. 2 out of 5, or yeah.
And I went back and forth on A and C. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went back and forth on A and C.
I didn't.
Because A is so interesting to me. Y'all saw at the last minute I switched A, and it's just because this has so much uniqueness going on. Now this is a store pick. The next one you get could be different than this. I don't know.
We got these in
This
Vegas.
is liquor lineup from Vegas. We do have another one.
It is so good.
We do have another one from a different store, but it is just, that is such a good pick. So much interesting things going on. So I mean, it was a little bit cheating because once I got this one wrong, I should pick them all ahead of time. Because I got 4 out of, I would have gotten 3 out of had I picked them different because I had those 2 backwards.
Yeah.
For sure. Once you drink so many 130 proof whiskeys, my proof meter just gets all out of whack. And so it's really hard for me to pick the proofs.
Because you're not the proof queen. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
What a butthole. Lord have mercy. Chad Martin with the $4.99 Super Chat. Appreciate the support. Ethan with the $4.99 Super Chat. I tasted my Weller Foolproof ABC store pick from the March Alabama Lotto for my birthday today and loved it. Really love your videos. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you hanging out. And that is a good bottle. That's a burn. I got a sunburn now. You got any aloe vera? You got any aloe?
I burned you.
Yeah, well, I got burned. Oh, God.
I mean, it's okay. Look, you can guess them. I don't know what is that. I don't know what kind of, you could say, I don't know, you're the guessing king.
If Jill's not on the next live stream, y'all will know why. She got uninvited. That's what happened.
Uninvited.
Michael with the $2 Super Chat. Have you had Castle and Key small batch?
What Frey Ranch?
I think I had one of the early Castle and Keys I might have around here. Great bottle. The whiskey was all right. Like it wasn't anything exceptional or special, but that was like batch 1. So I need to try more and more of the stuff. It's not a competition between Jill and I.
What is it?
Wait, what? How would we choose a winner
I'm just
then?
kidding.
If
I
it
won.
is, how? We both chose the same whiskey,
I know, but
and we both knew what it was.
I know, but I did it
State your case.
differently than you did.
Does it make you win? Down south with the $5 Super
because
Chat.
I'm the girl.
That Old Forester single barrel is my new favorite. Got lucky recently and found a 130.2 proof bottle, and it was really good. It came in 3rd here, right? I think that was the E bottle. Really good bottle of whiskey. Is that fireworks?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing outside? I thought it was
dogs are
thundering
going
for a
crazy.
second. Oh, our dogs are going to start barking. Y'all going to hear
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna hear them barking.
Words illegal, Michael Conway said.
Yes.
Lord. Proof Queen.
Illegal.
We're gonna have we're gonna do Proof Queen T-shirts and Proof Queen Glencairns, and that's gonna be
I
the
get
contest.
the whole line of stuff.
That's how we'll know if you win. If you can outsell the Bourbon Hunter stuff and the Brewzle Glencairns, you win. You win. You win all of that. Anyone ever purchased Frey in Missouri? I don't know if they're distributed in Missouri. So
Somebody asked earlier what Frey it was. It's the
Liquor
Las
lineup.
Vegas liquor lineup.
yeah, it is a liquor lineup store pick. And like I said, I don't know if all store picks are this good. I have no idea. We did get our second store pick today from War Eagle 1, who's in the chat here. Thank you very much for that. So we haven't tried that one yet. I haven't opened it yet. But this one, and it's like one of the
exceptional.
heaviest bottles I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna take it.
Such a pretty bottle.
When we finish this bottle, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the videos where they take like a Crown Royal bottle and they use it as a hammer to like hammer a nail in. This one is kind of that thick. So we're gonna use that, see if we can hammer a nail in.
No, I don't set up the blinds. We have our daughter do it.
No, so someone else, I pour them all, and she comes down and labels them randomly and then writes them down. And so that
draws
way
just cute
she
little
doesn't
pictures.
she did not have a lot of time today, but she did draw some cute pictures. Let's see what we've got, like some kid with big ears. I don't know what that says, but
It probably goes in order. Remember, she keeps them in
well,
order.
we have a little problem. And I probably should not put this on the internet,
No,
but I tend to.
no.
Nope, won't be on the internet. Never mind, doesn't happen.
Are you talking about her?
Talking about her hand.
Yeah, no.
Okay, not talking about her hand. She
No.
cut her hand, so she
She
can't
cut her
chop it.
hand.
Yeah.
Yes. We're not, no.
Brought mine on. Frey Ranch does sell on their website. They will ship it to a lot of states. So 130 proof. Good stuff. Got a hold of some Old Soul this weekend. I just haven't been on that Old Soul train yet. I've got a few. They're all right. 22A, I have not. What's up, Josie Wales? We've got some interesting things over here we could try.
You can try.
I could try. She's not going to try.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Like, let's see. We still got...
We got an hour, I think.
Oh, yeah. We still got 500 or so folks, and we're about an hour into this live stream. The problem with high-proof blinds is that you end up drinking a lot of high-proof whiskey. So this is... Y'all tell me what batch it is. This is 131 proof. This is the first one that, as far as I know, I think it's the first one that did not have junior in the title. So I don't know what that is, but it's a good one.
What happened to the little thing that was on there?
Apparently it fell off.
What?
Wasn't glued on real well. I don't know.
Well,
We had it around here. It was around
Yeah,
here.
you better save it because I can hot glue it back
I
on there.
didn't. Why?
Because I like it on there.
But like the bottle's about to be done.
I know, but I saved the bottles.
But you don't want their logo on it.
Why not?
Sorry, I don't know. I'll see if I can find it. We got another bottle. We'll just drink that one real quick. The barrel dovetail I had was pretty good.
Oh, goodness.
Picked up a rare character single barrel from Liquor Lineup yesterday. Liquor Lineup's a good store. They've got several, I think, but the one I went to in, it's like North Las Vegas, had a lot of picks. She gets to glue it on. Glue it back on. I don't glue it
Thank
all
you.
you want. I don't know where it's at. It's probably not going to surface. So, batch 8. I don't throw anything away. I never throw anything away. Everything I own is around here somewhere. Outside of Weller, what's your recommendation for a wheated bourbon? So I like Larceny, but usually the barrel proof stuff. The Green River wheated is pretty good. The best wheated I've had lately, like absolutely number one, is the Ben Holiday Soft Red Wheat out of Missouri. Fantastic whiskey. Like, I like the Ben Holiday Bottled in Bond, just in general. I've been singing their praises for a few months now, a couple of months since we went up to Missouri and I picked up a bottle. Fantastic. They sent us the soft red wheat. So they sent it with a card with their email address on it. I tried it, it's fantastic. And then I emailed them. I said, this is freaking awesome. I love what you sent me. I love your bottle in bond. I love everything you do. I want to do a barrel pick. And we just don't have enough clout for them to even reply. But
they sent it to you.
They did.
Maybe they're just busy.
We got enough clout for a bottle. We don't have enough clout for an email reply.
Michael Conway. Next on Hoarders, empty bourbon bottles everywhere.
Oh,
They're all back there.
dude. Luckily, we don't finish a lot of bottles.
There's a bunch.
we buy them and we just kind of sample them, and every once in a while we finish one. But yeah, every empty bottle I've ever had is back there somewhere. I have not had the Clyde Mace 15. I've had several people who have had it and absolutely loved it. So, Woodford Wheated. I mean, if you want a light daily sipper, that's probably a good bottle. I have their wheated. I don't care anything for any of the regular Woodford stuff outside of double oaked. I love the Masters. What is it? I don't even know what they call it. It's like their Master Distillers stuff. A lot of those are really, really good. Not all of them, but the double oaked is fantastic. It sounds like there's a war going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can hear that through these microphones, but there's a war going on outside. Apparently, a lot of folks like to pop their fireworks on the 3rd. So
They did it last night too, though.
did they?
Yeah.
I must have been asleep for that. I didn't hear any of that.
Or not last night. What night was it? Yeah. No, Sunday night.
Haven't had the Old Elk double wheated.
Yeah, that was last night.
I do think Frey Ranch distributes to California. Whether you'll find it in San Francisco, I couldn't tell you. Booker's boxes are great for keeping caps. Jill doesn't keep all the corks. I had a whole bunch of corks, so I'm in that kind of problematic area to where we have a lot of bottles that we've had for quite some time, and the corks are getting dry. So we had some folks over the other day. I broke out a barrel strength. It was a single barrel strength 4 Roses, and the cork broke.
Really?
It's just dry because I'm too lazy. I'm not going to go like turn all these on their side every few months. And so the corks get
Leave
dry.
them on their side. Will that help?
You're not supposed to leave them.
Oh, you
Just
can't
every
leave
once in a
them.
while, you're just supposed to soak the cork.
Yep.
Bunch of Coke soakers.
You need to
cork
hire
soakers.
somebody to just turn. You can just hire one of our kids to just turn your
I
bottles.
don't have that. Eats into the bourbon budget. You see it up there. You see that single barrel right there with the broken cork.
Oh yeah.
So we're having that problem right now because we don't finish them very often, and I forget the question that somebody asked me and where I was going with that. But City of Opelika bombing.
Yeah. It sounds like it right now. That's
I don't
exactly
even
what it
remember.
sounds
I
like.
completely lost the question. So congratulations. How much is a 4 Roses in the U.S.? Depends on which one you're looking for. Miami in the house. Div, appreciate you hanging out. Depends on which Joseph Magnus. I'm not a huge fan of Joseph Magnus unless it's a cigar blend. The Heavy Deal Bottle and Bond's pretty good whiskey. Pretty good. Nothing that like super jumps out at me that I absolutely love, but really, really good bottled and bond whiskey. I don't need to drink faster. I need to buy less whiskey. So normally when we're drinking, we're just having a sample of something brand new rather than just finishing a bottle. So it's just buy less whiskey, finish the bottles. So a lot of folks I talk to will buy a bunch of bottles, keep them unopened, and then they keep like 10 open or 20 opened, and then they drink through those, and then they open a new one. So they have a limit on to how many they open and so you have to finish one before they open another. And we have no such rules.
You will never do that.
I will never do that.
You will never do that.
Never do.
We just apparently need to have more people come and drink all of this stuff.
I've been trying.
We're never going to
So
drink all of
here's the problem, Jill. I had that idea. I had that thought. And I thought, you know what I should do? I should invite people over to the house. We'll have a bottle share. I'll bring them over and I'll break out some cool bottles and they'll drink them. Mm-hmm. But they bring just as cool bottles or cooler bottles.
Yeah.
And they leave me a bottle. And it's bottles I want. I appreciate it. Thank you for leaving me bottles. It's really wonderful because I've got some cool bottles that I haven't been able to find otherwise from the folks that come over to the house. But then every single time, without fail, we've done this like 3 or 4 times now, every single time that group comes over to the house, I end up with more whiskey than I had before they got here.
Oh yeah, last time you had what was that, a Jack?
Oh God, those are delicious.
Oh,
I have a
goodness.
new favorite rye whiskey in the entire world. And that's a good bottle. Aiden McCormick with the $10 super chat. Love the channel and all the bourbon content. Learning a lot from you both. Keep up the hunt. Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate it. We got the KJ. I don't know if KJ's in the chat, but we were able to work out. I did send some whiskey with him in exchange for the whiskey that he gave me, but I got rid of my previous favorite rye whiskey in exchange for the Jack Daniel's limited release rye from 2020. And that is my new favorite whiskey over the Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. And I still love that Michter's Barrel Strength Rye, but that limited edition from 2020 is fantastic. Also got from a new addition and I don't know if he watches the live stream, but a new addition to our little group here that meets regularly. I got a Jack Daniel's single barrel strength rye. So it's not
I
the
don't know
limited
which
release.
one I liked, but
so
it was one of those.
Jack Daniels released the special release to see if people would like this. They did, so then they dropped a barrel strength rye. It's really good. It's not to the level of the special release, but it is exceptional whiskey.
JD asked, what's your favorite Pappy? 15 or 20. Have you had 15?
Jeremy's there. So Jeremy's there. We'll do what?
15 or 20 Pappies. Have you had both of those?
Yes, I've had both of those. I would take the 15 every single day of the week. And honestly, I'm of the strong opinion that the Pappy 12, the Van Winkle Lot B, would be the best of all the Pappies if they would just drop it at a higher proof.
And JD, next time y'all are home, you come on over. You just text me or somebody and just say I'm in town, and y'all just come sample, because we got tons of it here.
Who are we talking to?
John David.
Who did we just invite?
JD,
Okay.
Renee?
All right. Did he have the Pappy 15 and the 20? Is he bringing both of them?
No, he asked which one you like.
Is he bringing them though?
I don't think he I don't know if he has one.
So if you're not bringing them, then just let me know when you're in town. We'll work something out. If you're bringing them, let's get something on the calendar. Like, let's be aggressive about it. So yeah, whiskey, bourbon in general, to me, in Kentucky, it's different in different states. If you're further north, you need more time. If you're further south, maybe less time. In Kentucky, bourbon does not typically get better after 12 years old. To me. I don't like a ton of oak. Oak tends to make it bitter. Yeah. Now, the Pappy 15 is really good, but I think that 12, if it were just 107 proof like the rest of them or higher, would be exceptional. I have not been hunting in Memphis, Tennessee yet, Tyler, but I'm going to.
You haven't been to Memphis?
I drove through Memphis on the way up to Missouri, but I just didn't have a lot of time, so I skipped Memphis. I've talked to some folks that run a bourbon group in Memphis about maybe coming up. We just haven't been able to make schedules work, so.
Michael, I think it's called, is it called an infinity bottle when you put all your leftover stuff?
Yes, in infinity bottle. Joel with the $5 super chat. Enjoy your channel. Started my hunting journey from watching you. Great advice and honest reviews. I appreciate it, and I apologize. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for the super chat. And I hate that I killed your 401k. Ever coming to Vegas? Cody, I don't know if you watch the content, but I'm in Vegas like 3 or 4 times a year.
He's in Vegas way
I'm
too
almost
much.
kind of like over Vegas at this point. I'm kind of like, what else do I film there? I've been bourbon hunting. I've done some stuff. But I'm in Vegas a lot. I'll be in Vegas for SEMA for sure. So I'll be in Vegas in November, definitely. So I'm usually, like right now, I'm trying to cut back my Vegas stuff, but probably at least twice a year I'm in Vegas. Wild Turkey 12? I need a Wild Turkey 12. That's like the father and son. That's like the overseas only release, if I'm not mistaken. I need that. Bardstown Origin. So I have a Bardstown Origin. I need to get, they've got like a couple of different versions. I need to get the second one. The one I had was all right. I hear the other one is the one to have though. Top spots in Alabama or Georgia. I don't have any good spots in Alabama. It's all like state run. Every other store is a secondary store. In Georgia, the bottle shop in Columbus is really good. I haven't explored much other than that. Not overly oaky for 17. Yeah, so I have an Old Fitz 17. I think it is open right now on the bar. That's a good whiskey. It's not as good as the 13 though. So the 13 Old Fitz, best one I've had. Now I've never owned a bottle, so I've never been able to like blind it versus the 17. But to me, in the context of when I had it, it was the pinnacle of Old Fitz.
Someone said it's the father and son is 13, not the 12.
Okay, so I don't know what the Wild Turkey 12, I don't know what that is then. Blanton straight from the barrel. Yes, I've got one back there. It is by far the best Blantons. Absolutely.
Oh, 12 is a foreign only release.
Is it what?
Foreign only.
Yeah, so Sauce Walker, it's funny because none of the bourbons would be under 100 where I live. They're not under 100 here most of the time. Maybe I'm lucky, maybe I spend way too much time on this. I've bought all of those for under 100, and the patrons are the ones that voted. I didn't vote on it. And I don't want to. I don't want to make the list. I don't want to make the list of what the best bourbon under $100 is, but I'm okay blinding it and just telling you what I think in that particular moment. Infinity Slobber Bottle? If you're into that, go for it. Maple Party Shop I haven't heard of Maple Party Shop. What is that? So I go to Mr. B's. I go to Mr. B's. I go to the bottle shop in Columbus. Those are usually the ones I try to swing by when I'm over there. Is it George T Stagg, 15 years old? To me, that's the best. It's usually those are a blend of different ages. It might be 15-year-old in that the youngest in it is 15 years old. And those are great. So there are variations, right? So you ask a complex question and I try to give a very simple answer, right? So that's the problem with it. It depends on where in the rickhouse it is. Is it high in the rickhouse where it gets a lot of weather? Is it by a window or an opening to where it gets a lot of sun and heat? Like there are variations. So Buffalo Trace has what, 3 mash bills? Something like that. High rye, low rye, wheated mash bills, that kind of thing. And then they will do a bunch of different products on those mash bills that it's the same whiskey when it went in a barrel, but which rickhouse it went into, what rickhouse, or which rickhouse it went into, where in that rickhouse it went into, all have an impact on what that whiskey tastes like. So when they go to pick like a Pappy's or the George T Stagg stuff, when you're talking about like super limited release stuff, they can pick that from wherever they want. Like those are hand selected from different parts of the rickhouse. So if you put it like in the bottom where it's cooler and it's out of the sun, you might make it 18, 20 years old and it's fantastic. But just on average, 12 years is where I typically find the best whiskeys, and then it starts to get rarer, more expensive, and not worth it. But like that's just kind of it is a broad generalization that doesn't necessarily hold up. And everybody hit the like button for me right now. I don't know where we're at on likes. I don't get to see that information. 196 likes with 473 people in here.
Half the people like you.
But that's like over the course of the whole freaking live
Most of them
stream.
like me.
Nobody, I mean, everybody's busy. They're just watching the stream. They're having a good time. They're not thinking there's the like button. This is really helpful if they hit the like button. But it is. Appreciate it. Brenda Zun's making an infinity bottle. So here's write down what you put in it. That's my advice. Write down what you put in it, drink all of it, then start over. My first infinity bottle I ever did, it's the best bottle of whiskey I've ever had. Better than anything I've ever bought. And I have no clue what I put in it, and I've been trying for like 5 years to replicate that. Eric B says hit the like for Jill winning tonight.
Yes.
This is not a competition, Eric. There was no winner. But in that, Jill definitely won. She won. In that I need the brownie points, she won.
Yeah. Then I win.
Josie Wells needs modded? What did Josie Wells say? Trying to look back, I don't see anything said. So the mods may already got it.
I think I don't know, I was thinking they were saying
it needs to be added as a mod.
Yeah. I don't think Will's here anymore.
Will does not watch. Will works for me. He works for this channel. Will makes a living. He helps support his family on this channel. He's not watching any of the live streams. He's here for like a minute.
That's not true.
He's gone.
That's not true. They did watch. I know they watched last time because they sent me a video. And I felt so bad afterwards because I didn't watch the video because we were on the stream. But it was my baby watching her Gigi and her Papa T, and she said Gigi. So she was like seeing me on here and she said Gigi. It was so cute. I should have showed you all, but just take my word for it. It was the cutest thing ever.
Josie, post right now for me if you would. I'm trying to find a comment from you, but I'm not going to scroll back for an hour. So just post something. What pour will you have next? So we have a few options.
You had Widow Jane.
Yeah, of course.
You like Widow Jane?
So the 10 is pretty good. It does have a lot of George Dickel in it, which you know I'm not a fan of.
You're not a fan of.
But they do a good job of blending it out. I thought the So I had a few. I had Widow Jane 10. I have it. I think I have it back there. I had 13 and 15. I don't know, I had a couple of their older varieties.
Yeah.
One of them I really liked. One of them I liked so much I gave away.
You liked it so
yes,
much
I've had
you
some
gave
of
it
them.
away.
Yes, for sure.
Roselle was just asking me about Widow Jane, and he said
Do you want to try it?
No, I don't want to try it. He's just said that was one of his favorites right now.
Nice. Castle and Key. Like I said, I had batch 1. It was all right. Is Lost Monarch worth buying? I have a Lost Monarch cast strength I bought in Orlando, but I'm waiting for the live stream after the Orlando Bourbon Hunt comes out, which should be a couple of weeks, few weeks, I don't know, and then we'll try it. But the Lost Monarch I have is pretty good. Yes, that's a good
Josie.
bottle. There's Josie. I'm gonna go ahead and mod Josie right here. So Josie, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Like Spider-Man, just don't abuse it. Chris with the $10 super chat. Appreciate the support there, Chris. Yeah, I like the Lost Monarch. I think it's a good whiskey, for sure. I haven't had Pipe Dream. I need to try that. What's the best state I've picked in? Ooh, that's a good question. That is deep, man. We're getting deep here. So here's the thing. Which would you say? What would you say? You were about to say something.
I don't know. You found a lot in Missouri that you like.
I did find some in Missouri, but honestly, if I had to pick right now, it would be Arkansas. And the reason I say Arkansas is not because of the whiskey I got. It's the people I talk to in all of the liquor stores. Right? It is just like, I don't give a shit about whiskey. It's fine. Like, whiskey's good. But this is a people thing, right? This is just experience. This is meeting fun folks like y'all to hang out with. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, I don't know. I try not to get sappy about it. I don't want to get sappy about it. But I professionally, business-wise, I'm in e-commerce. But I'm in e-commerce in a small town in the middle of nowhere as far as e-commerce goes. And so professionally, we were pretty much in isolation. Like, I don't have a lot of friends that do what I do for many, many years. And then we started going to conferences and meeting folks, and that was awesome. But like, realistically, I love hanging out with other folks that are interested in something I'm interested in, because I spent so much of my life not having people that are interested in anything I'm interested in. And so if I'm into cars, I want to hang out with car people. If I'm into bourbon, I want to hang out with bourbon people. And so going through Arkansas, and there's a lot of different type of liquor stores. So if you go through Alabama, most of those are state-run stores. They don't care. If you go through like big chain stores, they're fun, but realistically, the people that work there, it's just a job. Arkansas, like 75% of those stores were the person who owned the store was there.
Yeah.
Working that store.
Yeah.
And that was just a lot of freaking fun. I mean, that was just like Arkansas was fun. And I had a good time in Missouri. I've got a lot of good whiskey there. I've got a lot of good whiskey out of Georgia.
You can't not mention Spillway.
Spillway's so much fun. Like, so Mississippi's been good. I haven't spent a lot of time in Mississippi, but honestly, the folks from Spillway have been so generous to us. Just not just the bottles they gave us, but y'all don't realize the Talladega video, that's all them. They invited us to that. They hooked us up with the folks from Clyde Mays to do that barrel pick. We've got a video coming out where we went to Kentucky and did some barrel picks that I could never get myself into with them. And so they keep inviting us to fun stuff. They're some of the coolest folks I've met for sure, but that like wasn't a whole state, that was one store. Kevin with the $19.99 super chat, can you suggest 5 to start a bourbon tasting for our first condo tasting? So like, Kevin, let me know in the. I'll try to look for your comment. How experienced with bourbon are you? Like, give me an idea of what you like, how into bourbon you are, those kind of things, and then I'll make some suggestions. Me and the chat will make some suggestions. Michael with the $5 super chat. My current favorite is Calumet Small Batch, 8-year vintage. I'm gonna be honest with you, Michael. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm not trying to cause you any drama right now, but I thought the 8-year was awful.
Really?
I didn't like it. I got sent a sample. Matt Madness. The 8-year cost me winning. Not the whole Matt Madness, but the preliminary thing I was in. The 8-year, he sent me the 8-year in that, and it was so bad. I didn't like anything about it, and I was like, this is like a 2-year-old whiskey. It's not great, and it cost me a lot. So maybe I'm bitter. Maybe I'm just bitter about it. It's probably me, and I'm probably just bitter. But the 8-year I didn't love. Now the older Calumet stuff, the 15, 16, those have been fantastic.
Yes, Michael says Christopher is from Arkansas. Yes. We just hung out with Christopher.
We did just hang out with Christopher. He is from Arkansas.
Yes.
I'm not holding that against Arkansas.
We love Christopher. Oh, John David said New York is making some good whiskey. Widow Jane, 14.
Well, we've been talking to a lot of New
we're
York
talking to New
distilleries.
York.
We've been talking to, so Spillway's going to New York for a Penelope pick.
Yeah.
I might be able to get on that, but it's end of July, and I'm not sure I can make it.
That's quick. I can't. I know I can't make it.
Keep an eye out for Kevin if he gives a reply. I want to make sure I understand a little more about what Kevin's got going on to give him a reply.
I'll try to look for Kevin.
Our poor toy poodles are so scared of fireworks.
Oh, I bet.
Our dogs are pretty freaked out by it, for sure.
And they're big, huge dogs, and they're still freaked out by it.
I just small batch, all good, man. Like everybody has a different palate. So the small batch, I think I've had it. It's just been a long time, so I probably need to go back to it.
He's experienced, but the condos are new. The people, I guess.
Okay, so you're
newbies.
Okay, so probably what you want to do is try a variety. So if you're experienced, but everybody else is kind of a newbie, I would try a bunch of different stuff. I would probably try to find something a little harder to find and then have a variety. So if you could try some of the higher end Buffalo Trace stuff, that would be good, but at least a Buffalo Trace, an Eagle Rare, that would probably be like, if I have somebody over that's kind of like, I like bourbon, but I don't know what I'm into, Eagle, because it's low proof, usually really easy for folks that are kind of into it to get into. I might buy some of the benchmark, like a small batch or a single barrel or something like that, if you can't find the Eagle Rare, because those can be really, really nice. They've got that Buffalo Trace sweetness. I would get a Four Roses. I would get a Four Roses single barrel if I could find it. If not, a small batch. Outside of that, let me glance around. Usually with that, I'm not going to try to go for proof. If you can find a Blanton's, great, but you're probably not going to find that. Let me see. I'm trying to find stuff. Old Forester makes fantastic whiskey. I would probably try to find an Old Forester. You might, like a 100 proof single barrel, if I could find that, would be really, really good for folks. Wild Turkey 101. Like, here's what's funny about Wild Turkey when I try to, what is it? 100 with a 999 super chat. Appreciate the support, Hunter. And I'll get to Trix Zord here in just a second. Appreciate the support. So Wild Turkey 101. What's funny is when I tell people about Wild Turkey 101 that are kind of into bourbon or kind of, have drank a little bourbon, they're like, Wild Turkey, that's like low rent. That's like trailer park whiskey. Then you hit that 101, you're like, oh my God, what have I been missing? So that's good. If you want to try some high proof stuff, a rare breed, you could go a little further there. That would probably be a pretty good Knob Creek 9.
That's what somebody said. Knob Creek 9.
Fantastic whiskey for that blind.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely
for sure.
Amazing. Love it.
I did the Bourbon Trail tour in Kentucky where they showed how they make the barrels. Would you do videos like that? So we have done. We are doing some like that. They haven't come out yet, but we're doing like barrel picks there, not necessarily distillery tours, but yes. And I've thought about doing like some cooperages, which is, who makes the barrels. I'm doing some videos there. They probably won't be really big view videos. So if you see us do a video like that, just watch it. That really helps us out.
I mean, we would love to go do stuff like that.
I really want to share those stories. I would prefer that over me just going and doing a bourbon hunting video. Honestly, I'm tired of bourbon hunting. I've got too many bottles already, and I feel like I need to buy bottles. But at the same time, that's what people want. So I'm trying to give them what they want video-wise. So this Friday, the Kentucky Derby video hits, which we debated internally. Y'all will see. We debated long time whether or not we would even release that video. We were thinking maybe we would just drop it for patrons only and we wouldn't even release it because everybody loves the bourbon hunting stuff, but like the Talladega video did terrible compared to a bourbon hunting video. This Kentucky Derby video is the most expensive video we've ever produced. Ew. It's the most footage, it took the most effort to edit, and we had to rent a whole freaking boat. We had to live on a boat. I don't
think you could not put a video out where you lived on a boat.
Maybe. I don't know. The boat's a very small part of it. I was on Matt Madness. I was in a very early thing, and I was up against a previous winner, and I barely lost. I was second. I barely lost to them, and Calumet 8 cost me the entire freaking thing. What's the best drink I've ever had? You talking about like a bourbon? Again, it's William LaRue Weller.
Maybe like a mixed drink, though.
Mixed, I'm an old-fashioned guy. Although we've been able to, so we have a whole channel for mixed drinks, and we've been finding a lot of them that I really like. So there's Brewzle Mix. Just look for Brewzle Mix. Make sure you're subscribed to that because we do a ton of mixed drink reviews over there. S. Myers with the $1.99 Super Chat. Is the Kentucky Spirit better than the Rare Breed? I don't think so. The Kentucky Spirit's pretty good. What's the proof on those? Here's what's great about this new microphone setup is that I move away and y'all can still hear me.
Yeah, he can still talk.
So the Rare Breed is what, 100 and, I don't even know. See if you can read that with your bionic eyes.
I bought my extra eyes, so it's 100, no, it's 80, no, hold on.
I want to say it's
They're
like
not that great.
I want to say it's 114 proof.
116.8.
116. And this one's 101 proof, the Kentucky Spirit. I think they may have changed this bottle. I do like the Kentucky Spirit, but I don't think it's better than the Rare Breed, for sure.
I don't see the proof on that one.
Oh, yeah, you definitely have better, like Alabama. So there was a liquor store we're talking to. We may go up and film a video with them. They're doing barrel picks in North Alabama. And honestly, I didn't think there was any single liquor store in Alabama doing barrel picks. I didn't think there was. So to find somebody doing barrel picks, that's impressive because Alabama's a tough state to do that in. But you're going to have a lot better luck in Georgia in general. Timothy with the $2 Super Chat. What's your opinion of Elijah Craig Toasted? I like it. It's good. It's not the best toasted in the world, but it's better than most Elijah Craig. I'm not the huge Elijah Craig guy, and I want to be. Everybody loves the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I've got like 6 of them open. They'll never get drank. Unless somebody comes over to drink them, I'll never drink them. It's not because they're bad, it's just because they're not special in the selection that I have available. So when I have the toasted, that's probably one of my favorites. I do go to the Elijah Craig 18 every once in a while, although I think 18 is way too old for a whiskey. But the toasted's solid.
Nate
Tried.
said Jack Daniel's Rye.
Do what?
Nate said Jack Daniel's Rye.
What is he saying that about?
Don't you have the Jack Daniel's Rye?
I do have the
Weren't
Jack.
you just talking about how good it was?
It's fantastic, but he just said it randomly.
No,
I was
think
wondering if
he
that was in
saying
context
drink-
of some question.
No, I think he said earlier to maybe drink it on the Discord tonight.
Okay, so after this, so let me talk about what's going to happen in about 36 minutes. We're going to jump over. So after this live stream, I jump over to Discord and we do a voice chat where everybody can talk. It's not just me. So we could do the Jack Daniel's Rye. That's a thing we could do. Or, and I'll let y'all decide. Y'all let me know what y'all want because I'll do whatever you want. Well, most of what you want. Y'all are kind of a little bit freaky. So I'm not going to do anything you want. But I did get these new samples from Cleveland Whiskey Company, or Cleveland, I don't know, Cleveland something, Cleveland Spirits, whatever their name is, about possibly doing a barrel pick. Now, this company is doing like some high-tech, like fast aging. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some crazy stuff. And I told them, I got introduced through Spillway. Introduced me to these folks. And I told them, I was like, dude, I don't like ultra aging. I don't like finished whiskey. I'm going to make fun of all of it. If you're okay with that, send them along. And they're like, I think you'll like it. So they were a little bit cocky about it. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. But this right here is bourbon whiskey finished with black cherry wood. This is Wheat
It's like
Penny.
you're making a video. Boom.
Bourbon cherry finished with black cherry and toasted oak wood.
Oh gosh, that one got louder.
This is going to be god awful right here. They said they were going to send this, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to like that. And they're like, maybe you will. And I was like, it's not going to happen. This is chocolate and peanut butter whiskey. And then this is Cleveland Underground bourbon whiskey finished with black cherry and sugar maple woods. So I was thinking about maybe cracking those open on that Discord chat and giving our thoughts on these. And if I like any of them, we could possibly do a barrel pick of those. Or if you'd rather, I just drink Jack Daniel's rye. Y'all let me know. Could you crack an estate sale bottle? So S. Myers. I have the estate sale bottles. I have the. Let me find them. Let me find what I have available.
What does this mean?
What does what mean?
Non-chill filtered.
So they don't cool it down. So if you chill filter, it takes out a lot of the like fat, so it kind of kills the mouthfeel. So by like filtering it without cooling it down, you get a lot of kind of the fatty. You usually get a little better mouthfeel. That is my understanding. If I'm completely wrong on that, y'all let me know, because I'm liable to be wrong. All of these look, all of them but this one, look interesting. I'm just iffy on, like, typically the description of these would not be something I like, but these folks are confident enough to say you're going to like these and send them anyway. Matt says Wheat Penny's great. What would you recommend for a toasted barrel? Honestly, one of the better toasted barrels I've had has been Short Barrel. Short Barrel out of Atlanta, Georgia has a really interesting, so typically a lot of these like finished whiskeys, and Toasted Barrel is a finished whiskey, are too toasted. What's the one I have? So you have the Elijah Craig. I want to say I have a Michter's Toasted Barrel. That one was really good. And then the Short Barrel Toasted, I wouldn't even pick that up as a toasted barrel. It just has kind of some interesting added flavors. Any update on the app? So I spent last week at the beach working on the app and coming up with ideas for it and kind of mapping out what I want it to be. At this point, I need to get with a UX expert, which I have one, to go through and actually design the app out. So we're moving really slow because honestly, I don't think I have the money to develop it anyway. But I did also talk to a development company last week that might be able to build it for us. So there's been some slow progress. It's going to be slow, but then it's going to be slow. Then there's going to be an app. That's how it's going to work. Hunter with the $4.99 super chat. You ever hunted as far north as KC, like Kansas City, Missouri? I have not. Football season,
Well, we
go
got
to
really
Arrowhead.
good friends that live there, so that's probably a thing that could happen.
It could be.
Let's
Could
just
be.
stay with Joel and Kelby.
Well, so we've got Ben Holiday. I've been looking at Ben Holiday. I've been looking at Barrel King, which is up that way. And then maybe there was a third one. What was the third one? I don't think it was there. I think it might have been a state around there. Those looked interesting, maybe going up and doing barrel picks. I'm all down with doing some football stuff. So we got some stuff that are in the works. It's still very early. I don't know if it'll happen with a particular NFL franchise in a city that will remain nameless, but rhymes with Chicago. That might or might not happen. It might happen, it might not happen. But that will be the pilot for what we might be able to do with, like, we might have some inside access. We might be able to do some bourbon hunting with plate. Like, there are things that are being discussed that might or might not happen. That's all I can say.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But it very much rhymes with Chicago. Thoughts on Hugh Freeze? Now he's asking me Auburn questions, which is very specific. He can run off all, like, just because you got me access to a Frey Ranch store pick, I'm going to answer your question, okay? Frey's worth it. So, Hugh Freeze, if you're trying to hire the, best coach in the entire freaking world, what's your judgment criteria? He wins games or he's a good guy? Like, I don't know. You've got a choice of, do I hire a guy that is as squeaky clean as a church mouse, or the guy that has been buying prostitutes for recruits and players, but he wins football games? I don't have to be involved in any of that. I really hope he doesn't do that to help this team, but I want the guy that has a little bit of a checkered past but wins football games, not the guy that's squeaky clean but sucks at football. Now, if you can find a squeaky clean guy that's really great at football, I will take that, but those people don't exist. Chris with the 5 proof, membership, appreciate that. Alan with the $4.99 super chat. I cracked open my wheat penny full proof 115, and it's pretty solid.
Look at there.
Did we try this one?
You might like that. You should try it now.
Give me a clean
I
Glen.
mean, I'm not going to try
Give
it.
me a clean Glen. Give me a clean Glen.
Do you have? Oh, okay. Is there a clean one? I'm working on
Appreciate it, Chris.
Look at there.
The Cleveland Black Cherry was a drain pour.
This one?
God, don't tell me that.
Where's this from?
Cleveland.
Okay. I was just making sure. I wasn't sure. Like, it could be named.
They're named Cleveland. You're right. They're from Cleveland, I'm pretty sure.
They could be named that and not be from there.
It smells rapidly aged a little bit, but it's subtle.
I just want to smell it. You like it? No, you don't like it? Ew, God.
Matt, you're wrong. You're wrong, Matt.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that smell. Maybe you should just, maybe you need to let it sit though, all right? I don't know, maybe.
I'm trying very hard to find micro distillers. Like small distillery is good. I'll take a small distillery, that's fine. A micro distillery that I absolutely love. I'm trying very hard. And I found a few, like Crittenden's, love what they're doing. They're really slow in getting my barrel picked to New York so I can get it to folks. I'm a little frustrated with that. Other than that, they're doing great whiskey. We're gonna do everything we can to help them. And there's some semi-small, like Ben Holiday, from what I've heard, not a super small distillery, owned by a bigger company, but making like fantastic whiskey. So I keep looking, and I'm buying a lot of them. I'm spending a lot of money trying to find micro distiller, small distiller stuff that is just exceptional. And that is hard because a lot of them are having to cut corners to make a living. They're having to rapidly age. They're having to put it in small barrels. They're having to use oak staves. I don't know. They use all sorts of process here. But it's just...
Should you let it just sit there and open up?
I'll let it sit and open up for days, but it's not terrible. That's not a drain pour, but that has definitely got a little bit of bitter oak tannin on it that I get with rapidly aged. Now, typically when I say rapidly aged, it's a small barrel, it's oak staves, it's something like that. I think they may be using some sort of science and all sorts of stuff. I don't know.
Oh, no, see, it's not. Matt says it's the 115 proof. This is the 94 proof.
Okay, so this is
maybe
the
that's
baby
the
wheat pit.
difference.
Maybe that's the difference.
Yep.
But honestly, if it's that whiskey at a higher proof, I'm not gonna like it more. I'm just telling you, not gonna like it more. Taconic is getting, some of the Taconic stuff I had, they sent a bunch of samples. I like some of their stuff. But it was only one, they sent like 5 samples, and out of the 5 samples, one of them I was like, this is pretty good. This would probably be worthy of a barrel pick if I could find one that's a little better than their normal release. Like, it's pretty good. Most of their stuff, none of Taconic stuff's bad. Like, I think all the Taconic stuff's pretty good. One of them, I'm like, this is my type of whiskey. And I'm, so we've got some barrel picks coming with 13th Colonies. They're doing some really fun stuff. I think I'm going to find some stuff there I absolutely love. Starlight, our barrel picks from Starlight were freaking exceptional. Those are going to be great when they're available. We're going over next month to short barrel 13th, or not 13th Colony, short barrel and Old Forth.
What are we doing this month?
Well, we're not doing anything.
It is
July. Oh, so this month. Sorry, we've rolled over. This month we're doing short barrel or
And
Old
then
Forth.
one in August.
That's 13th Colonies.
Okay.
So Old Fourth Short Barrel, a lot of their stuff is really good. Now they've got a lot of sourced whiskey. Honestly, I mean, they're doing a bottle in bond, so I'm assuming not all of it's sourced. I don't know their setup. We'll learn a lot more about them once we're there, but a lot of the bottles I have from them are exceptional. So it's hard, right? It's really hard to find folks that are not trying to, because if you're a small business and you spend a bunch of time trying to get off the ground. So say, I won't name any distillery. There's a lot of them like this. You start a distillery, you want to get it off the ground. You got to make, tequila and gin and all sorts of things that don't take a ton of time to age. You try to sell those, try to make a living. You got to support your family. You got to pay for all the employees, all this equipment. It's really hard to start. Like, that's what I respect so much about Crittenden's. They put out some other stuff, but realistically, their first bourbon they released was 4 years old. Bottled in bond. That dude made a bunch of bourbon and sat on it for 4 years. Yeah. One guy by himself pretty much sat on it for 4 years and then released it. And that's why, we're gonna do everything we can. And y'all will see when we do the video, I am really going out on a ledge to try to help this guy because he is doing some really fantastic stuff that is super hard to do. But most folks won't do it. They put it in small barrels, try to rapidly age it, try to get it out faster, so it's got some color, it's 2 years old, it tastes like hot garbage, but at least they've got something in the market to try to pay their family. So, yeah, so I did see that 13th Colony is releasing cash strength. We had talked to them earlier this year, late last year, about maybe releasing our barrel pick as their first cash strength. And apparently they didn't think that was a good idea because every barrel strength is cash strength, and now they're releasing cash strength. So that sucks a little bit. I would have done the barrel in January if they'd have let me, but we're going to do a cash strength barrel pick from them for sure. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't cash strength. I have the bottle in bond from Taconic, John David. I have that. I have four. They sent 4 or 5 bottles, and I like their stuff. I'm going to be up, it may be July, and if I go to do the Penelope thing with the folks over at Spillway, and I may try to head up to Taconic and do a barrel pick there. So we'll see. I don't know if I can make the July thing. That's all it goes.
I would like for it to be after July.
So you can go?
Mm-hmm. I can't go.
There you go. My wife said I was dumb for passing on a Stagg and E.H. Taylor single barrel today, or small batch today. I felt bad since I already have a half full bottle. If it was at MSRP, Lynn, your wife's right. Don't want to yeah, so I got that one. Let's see, Watershed. So we have some Watershed. I need to go back to the Watershed. I think the Watersheds I had, here's the problem too with a lot of these bottles we get is I tend to just buy what I see from a distillery people are recommending. And sometimes they're not great, but it's not everything they release. So it's kind of like Taconic. They send 5 samples. There was only one I'm like, this is me. Yeah, this is what I would like. But then I go to a store and I buy one release from a company and that's not, maybe that's not their best thing, right? And so we're trying to make sure we don't talk negative about somebody if I haven't had a lot of stuff from them. And honestly, negative in general, y'all let me know, negative in general. I filmed a short the other day from a bottle we recently picked up. I think it was picked up in the last bourbon hunting video we released. It's not good. It's a small distillery as far as I know. And it's do I put out a video where I say their whiskey's not good? Because I don't think it's good. I would not buy it. I don't want you to buy it. But at the same time, I don't want to do anything that's going to hinder them from being able to make a living putting out mediocre whiskey, because some folks like that. Some folks just said they like this thing I just tried that I didn't like. Right?
I like the 115, not that one though.
Maybe, but I'm just saying some folks like different stuff. So I don't feel my palate is the end all be all. Everybody likes different stuff. And so I don't want to be that guy that's this is awful, nobody should try it. Because somebody might like it.
Because I like things that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you like things I don't. Everybody likes different stuff, so.
But normally if it's bad, it's just bad. Normally if it's, there are some things where I'm this is good, but I don't like it. It's like it's got a flavor like Elijah Craig. Let's talk about Elijah Craig barrel strength. There's a flavor there I don't love. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Some people are completely in love with that flavor, and they're like the raisin thing we had with the MB Roland.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like it. I'm not a big fan of raisin flavored whiskey. Somebody else would have that and say, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put out a video saying this sucks and then nobody buy that, because that's actually a good whiskey. It's just got a raisin flavor I didn't like.
Yeah.
Elijah Craig's got that kind of burnt tire flavor that I don't like.
You just don't think it's a good whiskey at all?
I just like this rapidly aged stuff, or that, like
you
that's
don't
probably
like that,
small
yeah.
barrel. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out, like, do we put those videos out? Because most whiskey reviewers, most folks that create content are just going to avoid the bad whiskeys. They're just going to put out it. And so people accuse them like, oh, you're just shilling whiskey. You're paid by all these. No, realistically, what they're trying to be is just positive.
Yeah.
And share the stuff that they like and avoid being negative and talk about
Yeah.
the stuff that they don't like. And we're struggling with that a little bit right now because there's so much crap out. I'm buying a lot of small distillery stuff, and a lot of it I don't like.
Yeah.
And so I'm struggling with how much of that we share. He's for the birds? Yeah. Appreciate it, Michael. Armagnac is pronounced Armagnac.
Armagnac.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm still not
Armagnac.
going to get it right.
He's never gonna get it
Here's
right.
the thing. It's much funnier for me to that. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. You been letting them in on a secret? Should I let them in on a secret?
I don't know. What's the secret? Oh, please. I'm not sure.
I'm a little bit of a troll,
Okay.
and my sense of humor is a little off.
Oh, yeah, it's way off.
And so I think it's funny when I just like kind of disrespect stuff. If somebody takes something very serious, like Scotch drinkers, right? They're very serious about Scotch. And there's some that are not, right? But most Scotch drinkers are like, I am very proper. I'm very into Scotch. I love Scotch. Scotch is very serious. How dare you? I find it hilarious when I can just troll those people a little bit by calling it an Irish whiskey. Do I know how to pronounce Armagnac? I do not. But I also find it hilarious when I mispronounce it and everybody gets upset about it. So at this point, do I learn how to pronounce it correctly, or do I still just enjoy myself when everybody gets upset when I mispronounce
I say you
it?
just go with your southern accent and say it however it comes out.
Yeah, Armagnac.
Armagnac. Oh, gosh.
Nate cringes. Yes.
Naked. Oh, that's what I was saying is Coco sent me a video the other day of these two YouTube people. It was a husband and wife, and they're from the South also. And he was getting her to say words that us Southerners usually don't say the same way everybody else says.
Okay.
And she's like, you and Uncle TJ should do this for Brewzle. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really want to get made fun of. We should do like bourbon words, like Armagnac.
Yeah.
Armagnac.
Armagnac.
How do you say Armagnac?
I mean, the way they're spelling it, there's no way it could be Armagnac. It should be Armagnac.
So we could make a short doing that.
Bruichladdich.
Bruichladdich.
Yes.
Oh, what was the one in this magazine?
Or no, what's Lagavulin? That's the one everybody gets mad at.
Yeah.
Lagavulin.
Lagavulin.
War Eagle from Dothan. Danny, appreciate it.
Dothan,
Where in
War Eagle.
Alabama can I get your barrel picks when available? You can't, you can just order them online. So they're going to be, we will post them on Brewzle.com. Technically, that'll link over to picks.brewzle.com. Our patron is getting big enough to where most of them will not be available to the general public unless you're a patron, unfortunately.
Here it is.
Wash or wash? I'm a wash guy. So my grandparents would have been wash. It would have been the Walmarts. It would have been Slicky. They used all sorts of crazy Southern words. What is it?
Glendalough?
Glendalough.
Glendalough.
I think there's Glendalough.
Glendalough.
Bruichladdich. Did I get Bruichladdich right? Is that right? Because if it's right, I'll change it. Remus Gatsby or JD Single Barrel Proof Rye? Which should I crack? Which Gatsby have you got? Is it like the Gatsby, the 5? I don't know if it's like the Remus Repeal or is it the Remus?
No, Michael Conway, I will not say that because it's
you
not
wanna
going to
say?
come out right.
Oh, Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire.
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 That's what it says. It's Worcestershire. Worcestershire, actually. Worcestershire. That is the proper pronunciation of that. Worcestershire. It doesn't feel right, so we'll just call it Worcester, but it's Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's a hard one.
A turlet. His grandpa uses a turlet.
A turlet.
Thoughts on Wild Turkey 101. So we have a whole video on beginner whiskey, and I think Wild Turkey 101's on it. I think that's a good one. Now, normally start with some lower proof stuff, like 101 starts to creep up a little bit. So you want to try some 90 proof stuff as well. So we have a whole list of 8. It's top 5 whiskeys for beginners, which includes 8 whiskeys because I can't count.
I just call it the potty.
Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, exactly.
Worcestershire. Yeah. I just call it the toilet the potty.
Yeah, the potty.
That's the preschool teacher coming out in me.
I just say I gotta go pee.
I even asked TJ, you gotta go to the potty?
Yeah, she does, very much so.
You gotta go potty.
Have I had Bull Run? Yes, I have a Bull Run, but my Bull Run is from like 1978. Who's got the super chat, Jill?
1978, Ford Fuel, $5 super chat. I know you love the Belle Meade Reserve 108. Have you had the cast strength? And is it better or worse than the 108?
I don't think I've had the cast strength.
1978 was a good year.
That was the year I was born.
That was the year we were both born. So
we just did this video right here. This is a Scotch. So I bought this at the estates. Here's what's funny. I bought a lot of whiskey, but I bought this at the estate sale of the doctor that delivered me as a baby.
He delivered both of them.
Dr. Temple in Dadeville, Alabama had a bar, and he had quite a few bourbons. I did find a nice bourbon there. But I bought a Scotch, like I bought a bunch of 4 or 5 different unopened bottles of whiskey. I just shot a short on this, and this is Wilshire's Black Bull blended Scotch from the 70s. And 78's a rough guess. I just shot that video. Look for it. It's in the shorts. It was released like last week, so. And it's pretty good for a Scotch. It's kind of, so I was trying the Dusties. Now I do have an Old Fitzgerald Stitzelweller coming. That should come in a couple of weeks from KJ. I don't know if KJ's in here, but he scored me a Stitzelweller from the 70s, Stitzelweller Old Fitz. We're gonna try that here pretty soon. And I've got a Rebel 100 from the 1960s, also Stitzelweller. Now this.
What's the one we're saving for?
That's the Stitzelweller.
No, the one we were going to save to open.
That's the Rebel 100. That's the Rebel 100 from the 60s, yeah.
Which we're still working on that, by the way.
Try that.
Really?
That is a Scotch from the 1970s. And it's all right.
Ooh, from the year I was born.
I mean, 78 is a rough guess. It actually might be a little younger than that because I think 78 they started putting the date on it. So it's probably early 70s, early to mid 70s. How'd I get Jill? Dude, we were in high school together and I was young and in shape and fit and I tricked her into marrying me.
He's awesome and wonderful. That's how he.
Yeah, I am.
Me.
I couldn't land her today, but back then I did pretty good. For a Scotch, it's all right.
That's pretty good.
Any update on cigars? So we I actually have a live stream with some cigar channel on I think they're on Instagram on Wednesday, so I got to do that Wednesday night. So I have to set up upstairs. We did the patron only stream where we've done cigars. We went out and smoked cigars Saturday. So I've been trying a bunch of different cigars. I'm still really, really new.
I do not approve of this venture.
Jill does not approve of the cigars, and honestly, cigars, they're tough for content because most of the platforms suppress them. Kelly's coming over to try this Scotch. Come on, do it. Jill was not born in 1970, no.
Oh, no, not 1978.
Go to patron.com, search for Patron Brewzle. Somebody will post the link here, I'm sure. Streamlabs right there may post it. And so, there's different levels. There's benefits. Like, we just gave away a bunch of T-shirts and Glencairns today for folks that have been patrons for a little while. And then I've bought 8 barrels of whiskey that'll be available to patrons if you want those barrel picks. And then we've got 2 more planned over the next 2 months. So we're trying to have at least 1 a month coming out. Right now, we're in a little bit of a drought. Like, we don't have any control over when they come out. I thought the Crittentons would be available this month, but He's still working out paperwork, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, Uncle Nate, this is pretty good.
I've not tried Old Dominic from Memphis. Alaska in the house.
Alaska.
What's going on? Is there a good bourbon to soak fruit in?
Robert says they need high school annual pics of you two.
I mean, I have some. Probably.
Oh, his is cute.
Oh, I'm gorgeous.
He's
yeah.
really cute.
I've gotten worse looking, and Jill's gotten better looking. So I might have been out of Jill's league in high school, and now I'm the one that's batting out of my league.
Out of my league in high school?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe. I was really, really good looking.
You were.
What magazine were you reading, Jill?
Oh, Whiskey Advocate.
Whiskey Advocate, yes.
One of our friends gives this to us, and it's actually really interesting.
She just wants to go to Scotland, so she keeps looking at Scotland articles?
Actually, this one has all about Ireland and going to Ireland and Scotland and doing the whole situation, but it also opened up a new country.
What country is that?
The one that Amelia Grace wants to go to. So our daughter already wants to go here, and I just think we might as well just do it. It's London. It says London calling. Britain's capital city offers plenty for whiskey lovers. I didn't know that. But there's whole articles, and it gives you like an itinerary, like day one, what you should do. We should do all this.
Sounds expensive. Yes, Anthony, single barrel, Four Roses is a great pour. Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. I don't know if we had a blind somebody sent us of a bunch of Garrison Brothers. I don't know if the Guadalupe was in it, unfortunately. Stoned with the $6.99 Canadian Super Chat. If I ship your barrel pick to...
If your barrel pick.
So we can't, we use a retailer because we got to be fully legal. I can't skirt any rules. So I can't ship to Canada. Now, if you ship to a northern state, if you had a friend there you could ship to, and then you could just pick it up. Maybe in the Discord, we could work out some mules to move it across lines because there's a few states we can't ship to as well. I'm open to all creative ideas to get it to cool folks that want one. But at the same time, I can't make the retailer ship it somewhere that they don't want to. What's the up-and-coming barrel pick you're most excited for? So if you're talking about ones I've already picked. All right, so I'll go through the ones I've got already picked. I know a lot of y'all have heard this already. We've got a Clyde Mays bourbon. That's pretty good. That's a good bottle. Don't get me wrong, that's a good bottle. The rye, good bottle as well. Crittenton's, we found a 4-grain in his warehouse he didn't even know he had. And that bottle, that's probably one of those more exceptional bottles that, if you get a chance to get the 4-grain, you better buy it. We also got a rum finish rye from there that's a pretty good bottle as well. We went to Starlight. We got a bottle of their bourbon. We got their bourbon finished in rum agrigold. That's really good. The bourbon's good. Rum agrigold's good. VDN finished, which is like this kind of orange finish to it. That's kind of interesting. But I bought a rum. I bought an entire barrel of rum finished in Weller barrels, which is just almost couldn't even tell it was a rum. Now, could I not tell it was a rum because I was drunk because we had sampled 10 barrels at that point? I don't know. We'll find out when it gets here. But I'm excited about it.
When I don't go with him?
It's what happens when she does not go with me.
You can't do stuff like that.
And then, so the 13th Colonies is going to be, honestly, all the ones I've got coming up I think could be really interesting. So there's 2 levels. I won't buy it if I'm not excited about it. So the Clyde Mays picks, those are good picks. But there's I'm excited about it, and there's oh my God, I discovered something I could bring to somebody. So the Clyde Mays picks are good. You're going to like those. Buy those. You're going to enjoy them. They're good whiskey. But I'm excited about Crittenton's because we're gonna have those picks, but we're gonna also try to sell a bunch of their bottled in bond and make that available to people that have never been able to have it before because they're only distributed in a couple of states. And that's what I'm excited for. Is just bringing something to somebody that they've never had. Something completely new. And so Starlight, some of the stuff we did there, that Weller finished rum, really good. All the ones we picked from them are really good, but the ones like Crittenton's or maybe some of the old 4th, 13th Colony stuff we're about to do, those are just things most people that watch this channel have never had access to. Whereas Clyde Mays has pretty good distribution already. So good whiskey, but you could go buy some Clyde Mays that's similar. But the Crittentons, the Short Barrel, the Old Fourth, the 13th Colonies, you know, and honestly, I think Starlight has pretty good distribution. But those small, like micro distilleries, you're just not, most of the folks are not going to be able to pick those up, and we're going to be able to bring those to them. So
exciting.
Yeah. So those, I don't know. I get excited about weird stuff. So, all right. So the barrel picks, which states can you get Crittendens? Right now, Crittendens distributes to Mississippi. They just started distributing to Alabama, and they sell a little bit in Louisiana. That's it.
That's it.
When we do the barrel pick, you're going to be able to buy it in 46 different U.S. states from our website. So we're going to get them, he's filling out the paperwork. We got to get it to a retailer in New York, and then you'll be able to get it in 46 different states. I think it's like, I forget which 4 states. It's like Alaska, Hawaii, New Hampshire, and one other. I forget.
That you can't?
That you cannot, we can't ship to. So, but other than that, it'll be good to go. All right, guys, we are going to call it a live stream. I'm going to jump over onto the supporter-only chat on Discord. If you're a supporter, make sure you're in Discord. I probably, like, send me a DM, you know, hit somebody up to try to get you in that supporter-only chat. Honestly, if you sign up tonight, I probably will not be able to get you into that chat, but you'll be signed up for future ones because I'll be trying to deal with that chat. We're going to open up some of these different things that came to us from Cleveland Whiskey. Give those a try over there. Hang out with folks. Talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
I won't be here next Monday.
What's happening next Monday?
You'll be gone.
I'll be in Austin, Texas next Monday. We are going to miss next Monday. I hate it. I really was hoping to stream that week, but I've got work stuff. Like, unfortunately, we're still trying to grow the
Somebody's gotta
channel.
pay the bills.
We're still trying to. I'm hoping sometime next year I'll be able to maybe be more full time into this channel. It'll take priority over the other things. But right now, this bar needs somebody to pay the mortgage.
Yes.
So I gotta go do some stuff that allows me to pay the mortgage. So I'll be gone for that. But then we should be pretty regular after that for a while, for sure. Yes. All right. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out.
Good
It was a
night,
good time,
everybody.
and we'll see y'all over on Discord here in a bit for those that make it.